Today I got a brand new Acer Aspire 3 laptop. I'm going to do some upgrading inside and a clean install of Windows 10. I'm going to open it up, show you how I do it. So let's get it done. Hey guys, how's it going? Dale here. Today I got a brand new Acer Aspire 3, a newer model Acer Aspire 3. It has a 10th generation Core i5 processor in it. It's a 1035 G1, 10th gen. This model ships with 8 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. It comes with a 256 NVMe SSD, and it is a full HD display. Sorry, looking at my cheat sheet there. Full 1080p anti-glare display, narrow bezel. I like. Nothing real fancy about it. It's pretty snappy the way it is with the i5 and the SSD, but we're going to beef it up a little bit. Got a regular USB port A-type on this side, or on the left side here. We have a headphone or earbud jack. Got 2 USB A-types. HDMI port, has an Ethernet port, and of course your power cord goes in there. So I'm going to open it up and show you how to do some upgrading. What I'm going to upgrade, guys, is I'm going to get inside and see what the RAM situation is. I want to get at least 16 gigs of RAM in it if I can. And excuse me, I'm going to take out the 256 gig SSD NVMe drive in there, and I'm going to replace it with a 1 terabyte, a Crucial P5 series. These are pretty fast drives, like 3400, and it's an NVMe M.2 2280. And I believe there's a 2.5 inch bay in here where we can add either a 2.5 inch mechanical hard drive, or in this case the customer said, what the heck, just put a solid state 1 terabyte 2.5 inch SATA drive in there, solid state. So we'll end up with hopefully 2 terabytes of storage. Lots of pictures they do, so they'll have plenty of room. So let's flip it over. And before you do any job like this, guys, make sure you're protected against static electricity. Use a wristband, an anti-static mat, or something like that. I'm all protected. My bench tops, my floors, and my entire shop are all anti-static. We treat them all the time. We're good. I've already taken all the screws out on this model. They're all the same length, so you're good there. And I'm going to open it up. So I have this plastic spudger tool I like to use. You can buy these by the bag. I'll have a link down below where you can get these online. They're really cheap. They work really well. Just don't use a metal screwdriver. You're going to leave tool marks. So what we want to do is get in the seam here with our little thin spudger tool to get this bottom pan off here. Usually in these, let me start in the corner here. Very slippery. So you can see I got it started in here. Now I'm just going to go along the front here carefully and just kind of work it up. Just kind of, I'm putting very, very gentle upward pressure on it up here. Just kind of help the process along here. You can see how it's coming up along the back here. Okay. Just don't get in a hurry with this, but these Acers usually come off pretty darn easy. Some of them not so easy. All right, you can see it broke loose pretty much on its own there. So we're going to carefully lift it up, get that out of our way. So like I said, this has 8 gigabytes of memory in it total right now. So I'm guessing we have 4 gigs on board and we have a 4 gig stick in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 16 gig stick, give us a total of 20 gigs. I know dual channel is a big deal to a lot of people, but about 8 gigs of that should be in dual channel, the 4 gigs on board plus 4 of the 16 that I put in there. But still, it's going to have 20 gigs of RAM, which is better than 8. So we have our battery. I'm going to disconnect it. You don't want to be dropping screws and whatnot in here. And over here is our 2.5 inch bay. You can see the mounting caddy came with it. It's already screwed in here. And here's our SATA cable already connected to the motherboard. We'll reconnect that. It looks a little crooked. To put our 2.5 inch either mechanical hard drive or our SATA SSD, which I'm going to do. So we have to get this battery disconnected. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I don't disconnect the batteries, but that's me, not you. So disconnect your battery. We just do so many of these every day. Never had a problem. Let me get our tape out of the way here. This connector is going to slide back towards the battery. You can see there's not a lot of wiggle room here, so carefully get a hold of it if you can. And it should, these ones typically come out pretty easy. I'm going to use a very pointy little tool, kind of give it a little persuading here on the edge, just like that. So now we have the battery disconnected safely. But as an added precaution, guys, I always like to open the lid. And I'm going to hold in the power button a couple times. I'm going to discharge any residual power that's in there, so we should be good. All right, so let's get rid of this 4 gig stick. Get that out of the way. I'm going to put in a 16 gig stick of DDR4 2666. I'm using the Timetec Hynix RAM. It's good RAM. I've been using it for a long time. It's very stable. So now we got our RAM. Here's our M.2 SSD Kingston from the factory. I got to remove that because, like I said, I'm going to do a clean install of Windows 10 on this one. These Acers are real straightforward as far as clean installs, so I got to remove this one screw right here, guys. He's having a lot of fun over there, isn't he? All right, so I got the screw out. Hey, camera guy. Gonna get the drive out of there very carefully. Gonna put our new Crucial P5 SSD in there as soon as I get it out of the pack here. Always try not to touch the connectors if you can help it. So we're gonna just plug that back in. Brand new empty drive. Mount it back in there with the same screw. Nice and snug, good there. Got our RAM. So let's hook our battery back up. Oh, my bad. Now I'm going to take this caddy out. I'm just getting in a hurry again, Dale. Knights of Acer. Acer and Dell include caddies in a lot of their laptops. HP, never. Asus, never. So we're going to get this out of here. I know it's a lot of storage. It's an i5. It'll be a nice little, snappy little laptop when all is said and done. These drives don't cost that much. So we're going to get the caddy out of here. And we're going to stick our drive in here. They ship screws with this somewhere. I got to find those. Let's see. Where's my tool? Get this tape out of here. Great, they put it right over top of the ribbon cable there. So the drive's going to go in just like that. So we got to mount it in our caddy here. Can you move a little bit, camera guy? I got to reach a little thing over here. All right, guys, I found the screws. Acer ships these in the box. I got a gazillion of them laying over in the corner. I just had to go fetch some. Thought I had them sitting here, but I didn't. So these are the screws to mount the drive in the caddy. Just standard type screws. So we're going to screw that bad boy in. Doesn't have to be super tight. Just tight. Ah. Oh, come on. Gotta get it to line up in the hole. Being stubborn. There we go. Gotta get it in there. And I'm using a number 0 Phillips screwdriver for all these screws. Excuse me. Exterior, interior. Get this mounted in there. Alright, guys. So we have that in there now. We're going to put it in here, hook up our SATA cable, which is glued to the back side of the keyboard here. Lift it up a little bit, just give us a little play here. Like I said, you could use a mechanical hard drive in here. They're super cheap. But solid states now are getting pretty darn affordable, so now we can have that back in there. Let's mount it back in. Forgot to throw my screws in my little holder over here. They're easier to get a hold of. How you doing, Milo? Brought extra help today. What kind of dog is that again?
He's a little Shiba Inu.
He's an awesome dog. Very people friendly. Japanese dog, right?
Yep, I think so.
I guess we'll find out. Shiba Inu. All right, so we have that mounted in there, guys. And we're going to do our clean install of Windows 10, of course, on our NVMe drive over here. So we're good to go there. Now we can hook our battery back up carefully. Sometimes these are difficult to line up. You just got to be patient because, like I said, they don't give you much wiggle room. I'm going to take my little plastic tool here, camera guy. Got to get to it over here. There we go. Just make sure it goes in all the way, but try not to pull on the wires too much if you can help it. All right, so we got that in all the way. Let me get my tape back on there. Just enough, it's not that big a deal, but that'll work. All right, so we're good. Put our pan back on. You're gonna carefully snap this back on. Remember, when you're squeezing on this, don't squeeze too hard on the lid because your screen's there. Squeeze hard enough, you could actually damage your screen from the top side. You don't want to do that. I'm just going to get it secure enough to do my clean install, and I'll put the screws in once I'm all done. Just in case we have to open it back up for some reason. So let me grab my power adapter here. Just takes the standard 19.5 volt 45 watt AC adapter. All right, so I got my Windows 10 flash drive, my media installation drive here. All you do is download the Windows 10 media creation tool from Microsoft. I have a link down below where you can download it and create a flash drive. You need at least an 8 gig flash drive to put everything on. So with these Acers, I'm just going to stick it in the USB port, turn the laptop. Now it'll probably take a minute or so or less for it to read that RAM. Got to be patient. It won't post immediately. It's totally normal. Sometimes you got to force it off, turn it back on, but it's just reading the new memory in there, determining the clock speed and all that fun stuff. They all do this, all the different manufacturers. When you put in a new RAM, you just got to be patient. And once it posts here, it should default to the booting off the flash drive. If not, F12 can get you to the boot menu. If it's not enabled, we can go into the BIOS with the F2 key, enable boot menu capabilities. Just waiting for it to post, guys. All right, so I am going to, because I'm impatient, by the time I shut it off, it'll post. Oh, there it goes. I was just about ready to shut it off, and now it's posting. Or it's going to post. So I'm see if it'll boot from the flash drive. Yep, which it did. If not, though, just go into F2, hit F2 to get into the BIOS, and you can turn that F12 boot menu on. Usually by default, it's turned off. So I'm going to hit enter. And I didn't do a clone because this is a brand new laptop out of the box. Nothing's on it yet. The customer is going to install their apps and whatnot, so I didn't really need to do a clone. The clean installs on these Acers is pretty straightforward. So I'm going to don't know why it's doing that lately. I have to hook up a mouse because the mouse driver, touchpad driver is not installed yet, which is no big deal. I'm just going to click on next on English. Click install now. And this is I'm using the 2004 edition of Windows 10. The H2, 20H2 should be out any day now. I'm going to choose custom. Now we have 2 drives. In this case, drive 1 should be our NVMe drive. So I'm going to hit next. I've just done gazillions of these to know. But if not, start over and put it on the other one. So I'm going to let these installation files get all copied over and get into the actual setup, which only takes a minute. So I'll be back in just a second, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. We got the installation files all copied over. You can remove your flash drive now. This will only take a minute to walk through this. Sometimes during the install it doesn't pick up the touchpad driver. Why, I don't know, but it'll be there once we're connected to the internet. Now when I do these initial setups, I'm not connected to the internet. It just goes quicker. I hit yes because I'm in the United States. Yes, skip additional layouts. I choose I don't have internet, no big deal. Windows is going to activate, don't worry about that. Just click on that, limited setup. You can change all these settings later in settings, no big deal. Just type in your username, no password. If you're connected to the internet during this process, Microsoft is going to force you to log in with your email account or set up a Microsoft account, through them, to where you have to sign into your laptop every time you turn it on, which is fine if that's what you want to do. You can always do it later in settings under accounts. I just choose no, not now, forget it, never mind, go away. Just get into Windows. And of course I'll get all the Windows updates, get a couple things from Acer's website, but like I said, these Acers are pretty straightforward. The customer can take it and put their apps on it. I got a little data I'm going to transfer from an old laptop that they have, put on here some documents and pictures and whatnot. Typically the drivers are installed like on a model like this from Microsoft are going to be just fine, but I always check. Sometimes their graphics drivers and chipset drivers are unique. I look at the dates on them. Of course, Windows will tell you you're trying to install an older driver. You don't want to do that. But now with 20H2 Windows 10, I've been reading that drivers are going to be, if the drivers, even from the manufacturers, aren't digitally signed and verified by Microsoft, you won't even be able to install them. Drivers just aren't like they used to be back in the day with Windows 7 and Windows XP and even Windows 8. Everything's kind of universal. Realtek, Intel, AMD Radeon. Alright, so we're almost there, guys. You can see it's searching for a display driver. We're not connected to the internet, no big deal. Oop, my mouse. So I'm going to open up my File Explorer here real quick. Go to this PC. Here's our 1 terabyte NVMe drive. Now you can see the other drive's not showing up because it's not allocated. So what I need to do, first of all, I'm going to see if I can brighten this up a little bit. No, not bring on the video driver yet. No biggie. So I'm going to right click on the start menu. I'm going to go to disk management. And there's our new drive coming up. That's going to be initialized. I'm going to hit OK. You see it's right here. I'm going to right click on it, choose new simple volume. And I'm just going to accept the defaults on here because I don't want to partition it. It's going to be a 1 terabyte drive. Hit next. Drive letter D. Which is fine. Hit next. Hit finish. So there's our new volume popping out over there. So now if I go back to File Explorer, there's both of our drives. So we got a total of 2 terabytes of storage in here, with Windows being on 1. So I'm going to go down here and go to Task Manager real quick. Just type in task in your search and click up here on Task Manager. Excuse me. Performance, memory, and there's our 20 gigs of RAM, 2666. The onboard memory is considered a slot, so you can see 2 of 2 slots used. All right, so we got a clean install of Windows. I'll put all the screws back in, button it back up, do a few other things, and we should be good to go. So I appreciate y'all watching. Check out more of my videos if you would. Give me a like if you liked it. Give me a sub if you really liked it. And I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.